This is a Headgum podcast.
We turn the lights off.
Yeah, do we want to have them
Just
on or
because
off?
well, I mean, just because it's like so late outside. Is it weird to have the lights be like?
Well,
To just do the show like it's normal.
it's just going to, it's going to absolutely biznuck my body
Yeah.
clock. I have an issue where this level of sunlight, I understand it's artificial, but for me, it is interpreted as sunlight physiologically, is going to make me feel like I'm very awake.
Yeah.
And when I leave this room into the abject darkness, the true black that exists outside these doors, night country, as True Detective would say, I will not be able to adjust, and I may just pass out in the parking lot.
I won't know whether I have or not. It'll take me so long to adjust. I mean, you could hear when I walked in here, my pupils kind of enlarging, it's like they're taking very loud breaths.
Your pubic bone.
Or smallning. My pubic bone is like, it's not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm. No, they deteriorate, especially, I mean, at a certain age they begin to, and don't believe what the supplements tell you. It's going to happen because I've tried them all and I've injected them everywhere. But it just doesn't matter. Like, your body's going to give way, and I think I could be up for 3 days after this, or like I said, I could just immediately shut down and just power down in the parking lot, and that would be it for me. I would be picked over by the vultures of Silver Lake, and it's been nice knowing you if that's the case. Kevin, what was the thinking? You wanted to do, so this show comes out in an hour, and you wanted to record it at the last possible second, and you wanted to only ask people who couldn't do it last week.
Yeah.
And then on day 3 of a holiday 3-day weekend, you wanted to do it at night, which, no offense, severely limits the pool of people who would even be available and willing to do it.
None taken.
But the experience for the listener of listening as they start the show, I'm going pee. So they know, like, as soon, because this is going right up. As soon as this is done, this is going right up. No,
the immediacy of it is beautiful and irreplaceable, and I expect it to be actually an outstanding episode. And if that's, by design, I applaud you. I have a feeling that we fell bass-ackwards into it through more of Kevin's bumbling.
Into Monsieur Webb's great
Senor
plan.
Webb.
Senor Webb.
Senor Webbislaus, right? I mean, am I wrong?
It is. It coming to Headgum at night, it is scary for sure. Expected it to be scary. It was very scary. Not as scary as it is during the day.
Well, there's always people here during the day.
Yes. And at least there's a reason why there's no work happening right now.
Yeah.
When I walk in there, I'm like, okay, there's no work happening here. That's understandable. It's very late at night.
Yes, there shouldn't be work happening here at this time. When we are here normally, there should be a lot more work. And there are people here who could do the work. I think some of them introduced themselves to me once.
The reason I think we should do late night recordings, I've been studying nocturnal secretions. The blood flows south at night, and maybe people will be interested psychologically in.
The show's not erotic enough for you.
Not yet.
Okay, so it'll increase the eroticism, and to that end, we have a guest. We have Will Hines. So, Bill, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thanks so much.
You're,
It's Will normally, but I mean, you can call me whatever you'd like.
Will
thanks.
normally.
Yeah. Will Normally. I thought it was Bill Hines, but it's Will Normally.
It's Will
Well, okay.
Normally.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a
that.
pretty funny ass comedy name, Monsieur.
Will Normally.
Oh, that's not
Because a lot of your
Normally.
behavior on stage is far from normally. It's actually abnormally.
I guess so. Yeah.
Some of the thoughts you have and everything.
I
And
have-
people say, "Where's the ab?" You say, "Right here."
Mhm.
Dum 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 dum.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pull,
Thunk, thunk,
pull,
thunk.
pull up the tank.
Yeah. I do a lot of
That ab is.
Yeah. Puns are pretty fun.
Yeah, I know. You've proven that time and time again, and we're thrilled to be sitting down with you, especially because we have a pretty massive opportunity, potentially for all three of us. Certainly for Hayes and I,
Yeah,
we have
but-
like a big job in front of us.
Can I just address one thing that was said before I was introduced? And I'm not sure it's.
Did you say headrest one thing?
Maybe I did. What I meant to say was, is it okay if I ask one thing?
About something that happened already,
Yes.
not what we're doing now.
No.
Mhm.
About something that you've gone past that you talked about before I was introduced.
You want to go back,
Yeah.
even though it's done. You understand,
I understand
that it's done.
and it's a closed issue, and I want to reopen.
That's why
it.
you're asking.
That's why I'm getting permission.
Right,
before
because
Okay.
because there's a world certainly where we say, hey, the whole idea of this show is we're constantly pressing
Constantly
forward,
moving forward,
we
yeah.
And if
just,
you
like,
were
want the
just
momentum,
about to say something on the topic that was already being discussed,
you would just jump
you
in
wouldn't
and
have
say
to
it.
ask.
I don't have to
There'd
ask.
be no reason
it
to
is
bring
it is
up.
something of a headrest. I mean, I think that was maybe either me misshearing or you
Subconsciously,
misspeaking, but
yeah.
it is a way to stop down and just like lose the momentum. Right?
I am
Yeah.
asking permission to hard stop the momentum of the show
Mm-hmm.
and address something that's so far past, it's almost silly.
Because
to
the
bring
show
it up.
was kind of just getting cooking for me.
It was just, I could feel it.
Mhm.
It was getting hot.
Are the other are the other listeners then going to get to do that? Because Will
would only-
normally here is effectively a listener
Right.
for the first part.
Yes, at that point I was
He's
just
the
an
audience proxy, or
So
is
if I
every
get to-
one of them going to? Because they all have pitches, notes. They
Yeah,
they have
that-
stuff they want to
that
do.
could be a
Oh,
bad
you can
precedent.
feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Next I don't have to.
you know what? Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's go back,
Okay.
but not right now.
Okay, yeah. And I don't have to. That's why I asked. You guys, it's your party.
Jesus, I don't know if I'm going to be able to focus. I'm wondering what you want to go back to.
I'd love to say it, but I mean,
Do it fast. Do it fast. No.
Just go.
No.
was
go,
I
go,
how
go,
far
go,
down on
go,
the list
go,
was
go,
I to be
go,
asked to
go,
do
go,
this
go.
show? I got asked today at 4:00.
Hmm.
Not a long time ago. I was doing nothing and said it'd be great.
For the record, I believe I thought you should have been asked earlier than 4. I think
Mhm.
it was something like 2:30.
That might be right. Let me check the exact
So
time.
if it took until 4,
Let me check the
that
exact
does
time.
not reflect at all on the esteem we hold you in here as hosts.
You know what? It was 11:20 a.m.
Wow.
I do want
Maybe
to
too
A
early.
gentleman's 4.
A
That
gentleman's
was
four.
before
To
I
me,
was
it's 4.
ready.
To me, it's 4. That was earlier than you wanted it to be.
I thought, let's give it a couple more hours and see if
Yeah.
anything
Else comes
starts
together.
to take shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 11:20, the die was cast. Okay,
Mhm.
so
But I think it's important that since you asked, it's important that you know that Kevin did ask someone before you
that doesn't insult me at all.
who owes us what I think they phrased as a mega favor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the biggest favor.
And Kevin said it's time to finally cash in.
Yes. And so I guess
that didn't happen.
rather than ask Will,
Right.
so that to them, to you would be someone doing you the biggest favor that they
Right.
could possibly do
Yeah.
is being on the show instead of Will.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't mind that. I was super available. Really, really excited to be on.
Yeah, clearly. But for me, it's like, it is actually exciting too, because I think the other person, whatever, you are uniquely qualified to fill a role in
Great.
this episode.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Because we have a massive responsibility, something that is
Okay.
This ended up being perfect.
stressful
great.
on
Yeah.
a certain level, but it's good stress. It's forcing us to perform, I think, at a higher level.
Good trouble.
Good trouble,
Mhm.
the good kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's you. We're not there yet. You should use that
Mhm.
I should use
if
it.
you end up being the choice. for
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
That's, our old friend Jack Louie said that.
Mm-hmm. I have a little bit of a friendly relationship with one of the kind of premier minds today, who is
okay.
like investigating and shaping culture. Do you have any experience, interaction with, awareness of? I mean, how can you not be aware of Jesse David Fox?
JDF.
Yes, I know who Jesse David Fox
This
is.
guy's like a fucking super genius.
He's a Vulture
Like,
writer.
Yes.
He writes about how SNL is like a sport.
It's
And
baseball to him.
It's
It's baseball. Yeah,
It's
right.
basically
Which I think that's
baseball.
an interesting
Yeah.
theory that like people do relate to SNL like a sport they're watching. They like it if it's good or bad. They're curious about the stats of the people.
Well, they get the jersey for the different, you know what I mean? They wearing the shirt and they go out,
Yeah.
They
I-
and they like
Cards.
really want one team from their town
Mhm.
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
Yeah.
win the laugh. Like
Mhm.
it's I mean,
a great
it's like a
theory.
1-to-1. Like
Yeah.
it's very close.
Yeah. I really like it. So yeah, I remember reading
But sports
essays.
and sorry. So sports and comedy intersecting is actually what we're here to talk about,
Okay.
because the dude did it again. And I like, no sooner had I finished, digesting the big game, Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl.
Sunday,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
football shaped chicken lunch. That then I opened up my news
Mhm.
to see that Jesse
He issued an exclusive opinion.
had fixed it.
Mhm.
Well, not only that, because I don't think there's a person alive who watched the Usher performance and didn't say, "This is broken. When is Jesse going to solve this?
Mhm.
Like, this is
Yeah.
not working.
Yes.
This system
right.
at its core is defunct."
Mhm.
And I certainly was racking my brain all night of like,
Yeah.
how do I correct the sort of missteps that have been taken?
I guess I wasn't thinking of Jesse consciously, but I guess in retrospect, he's the kind of person who I might expect to have an innovative solution to stuff.
And
I don't know if he had
does, and
this.
he does,
I don't know
and
if he
does.
had this ready to go, or if he was responding to some of the same problems that,
And it
like,
doesn't
that
matter.
we all were. I mean, like, I could feel when that halftime show was playing, basically like a wartime mobilization across the country. Like everyone
Mm-hmm.
pitching in, everyone doing their part.
We have a common
Well, this guy,
enemy.
this
and
guy,
gals
yes, this
too.
guy's on roller skates. He's like doing
Yes.
these incredible movements in these hit songs, and it's getting zero laughs.
Yes,
right.
and he was really
it's a
scared.
problem.
He was freaking out. He said, "Oh my god."
Yeah, a few times.
Yes.
yeah.
A few times. So I was uncomfortable. I was frightened, and then I was comforted, as I so often have been, by JDF's words. The pen so mighty, and his brainchild, his innovation
I missed what he said.
is that a comedic entity, a stand-up, could perform the Super Bowl halftime show. And before you even
Stand-up comedy.
before you even interrupt, because I can see you,
I was just about to.
they don't sell big stadiums. They sell big stadiums.
Mhm.
They do this. They perform in these massive venues.
Yeah.
And so
Not that
and that's
big,
where
though,
it
right?
happens.
Like Radio City, they'll do Carnegie Hall.
They'll do stadiums. They'll do sports arenas.
Mm-hmm.
They will.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll do that, and they can.
Yeah.
And it is a sports arena where this is happening.
And it's on TV sometimes too.
Yes, and they often have been on TV. Seinfeld was on TV.
Yep.
Seinfeld was on
Mhm.
TV.
He was, very much.
Whitney.
Right?
Right. Whitney Cummings had a
Mhm,
show and was
mhm.
on TV and does.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wait, who?
Mr. Iglesias.
Fluffy.
I'm not. Mr.
Okay, not your
Not my thing, I guess.
Seinfeld and Whitney. Yes.
Mhm.
Mr. Iglesias.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
what. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
If it's not necessarily something I would want to explore during the show,
Yes.
but
Well,
it should be
Yeah.
investigated
I'll
probably
look-
on
I'll look into
your own time.
Yes. I'll fix that.
Yeah. Now I feel like I have to come up with somebody else who's been on TV.
Tater salad.
Sorry?
They call him tater salad.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Tater nuts.
So that okay.
Gerard.
That's good for you, honestly.
What?
Gerard.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Carmichael show.
Yes,
Okay.
Carmichael show. Right.
Okay.
So it's on TV. It's in some of the biggest sports playing centers. But this single one, we've decided we can't do this. We can only
Because no one, and it's
we're
why
only allowed to sing and dance.
we're only going to sing and dance with these I guess like massive artists, like with this body of work that is kind of tried and true and familiar
Mhm.
that people want to see repeated.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna do that again,
Yeah.
and then again,
It's
like
a
the
little,
next year.
It's a little
Like
done. It's a little done.
Well, yeah, just like these songs are. They've been done. They've been recorded. If
And
you
I-
want to hear them, just put them on.
Yeah. Yeah, we know there's no surprises.
I mean, you put on songs.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So, like, when I'm saying it, like, be like nodding, be into it.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yes. Okay.
be, like,
yes. Right. Sorry. Yes.
enjoying like what
Yes.
I'm telling you because it's
It's
because it's also it's an energy thing.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna help me, and then that's gonna help you like get your stuff in.
Yeah. Okay. I don't quite
Yeah.
know what that means, but I appreciate. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, I'm hoping that you have some stuff to get in on the episode.
I don't want,
too.
and
Yeah.
I don't want to like set you up to fail or anything, but like
Okay. Yeah.
we got to find the guy, the gal.
Mm-hmm.
Could be
whoever
anyone.
is
Yeah,
gonna be-
could be. We're open to it being anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you
For
would not
this-
want it to be Mr. Iglesias, but we would be fine with that. We would be fine with you, with another
Yeah.
comedian, and it's like guy, gal, like Hayes said, like it's just like whoever is gonna step into that role.
So is this a
And
done deal?
really-
Is this happening? So
This
the
is-
next Super Bowl halftime show will be a stand-up comedian.
amazing.
And now
Yes.
begins a nationwide, worldwide search
Incredible.
because there's
Yeah. There's people in
foreign
other.
comedians as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the next Super Bowl will be halftime show will be packed with laughs,
Yes. It's
Like-
like missing.
funny shit,
Yes.
getting the crowd moving, like
yeah.
enjoying it.
I love
People
that. at
will be
stand-up-
happy
Stand-up
finally.
shows. People are so happy at
Well,
stand-up shows.
they are, and the audience for sports, right?
Yeah.
They're not really a music audience.
And the setup, the stage design is going to be the same. There's going to be like younger people on the field, like
Mhm.
surrounding
The
surrounding
talent.
the stage on all sides.
In a choreographed way, or just sort of also just a select.
I think
people
the
allowed
artist
to
will be
enjoy-
involved in designing that, but I
Yes.
do think, yes, absolutely, in a choreographed way, and it'll be a question of like, what is the choreography, what is the shape, because it's not the same exact stage every year, but there's usually a couple of different wardrobe changes. Like it's a visual spectacle. There's a couple of different.
Could I pitch something now to get your reaction to that?
Yeah, I would love for you to contribute something like
So
that.
So you think that you should be the one to do this?
Oh, I wasn't saying that. I just was on the general topic of the show.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I mean, if he wants to pitch something, like
If he's pitching something, this could be our guy.
Oh,
Like, let's hear what he has to.
Well, I
pitch.
didn't mean to. I do not
But
have
it
anything.
could be.
I don't have anything prepared for the like of pitching.
It could be Big Bill. I mean,
I don't think Big Bill.
I don't.
Big
I
Bill
don't
can't do it. I don't think.
mind.
Do you know? I mean, I do stand
Going
up so
away
barely. You know
from-
that I so barely do stand up,
Brother.
I mean,
I've seen you do stand up,
I-
so I know that you're underselling it.
I do it.
I've seen you steal a joke.
Yeah, I think I've done that.
I've
Yes.
seen you steal a damn joke.
Yeah,
Not even realize you were doing it. Parallel thought.
And this
eh?
is
It's a sign of a
basic.
pro, I guess. But
supply and demand. If you've been sort of like choking off the supply for this long,
yeah,
and they see you walk out there.
I dabble so barely in this. I mean, I do it to kind of work a muscle and for fun and
well,
for a challenge.
but here's the thing: like, somebody who does it all the time, plays every city, goes to do all
Yeah.
these things, and anybody who goes to see them goes like, "Well, I could see this anywhere." But somebody who, the second they step on stage, it's like, I didn't even know he fucking did this shit.
Yeah, or who he is. Well, what I was going to pitch, and I do not think it.
We have a year, by the way, to like up
Okay,
your,
that would be
you
good.
know,
Yeah.
your-
No, I would want to increase visibility because we do
Yes.
probably need to announce it.
the name
beforehand.
rec and stuff
Yeah.
will be that will be important.
I
for
feel like
next year.
when the
some different choices.
musicians are announced, it's usually somebody pretty well known.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
a year, and so like by the time of the announcement, we're not like they don't announce it that far in advance.
Yeah.
The game just happened. We have a lot of time for you to like get the
Okay.
get the name rec.
I mean, it'd be pretty.
Because
Up
I'm
there.
thinking about like other musicians that have done it, and I don't even know if I agree with you. Like,
Like Bruce Springsteen did it, Prince did it,
but
Rihanna.
weren't people
Not funny.
pissed?
Yeah.
Were they pissed? I think
Didn't
people are.
Dr. Dre do it last year?
People were pissed that their shit was not funny.
Yeah, it's not that funny usually.
No, it
It's
really
almost
is
never
not.
It was
funny.
really
Lady
loud.
Gaga can be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I wasn't laughing that much during her Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And Jesse, like I hope he doesn't mind that we're talking about him so much, but JDF, like he literally wrote the book on comedy. I mean, Hayes is
Yeah.
in the damn book, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
He doesn't mention Hayes isn't mentioned as a
Not as like a
comedic
comedian
figure.
Not for like doing stuff that's funny, but like
as what?
or
how
not
you-
even really doesn't give any context to who you are.
just
Like,
your names
No.
in it.
doesn't mention the podcast itself.
no. But like even
Um,
that is
His
like
name's in it, yeah.
the idea that I don't even need that extra context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you
In
were.
the book about comedy is
No, I
Yeah.
mean, and
that's
it's like,
Yeah, if he
actually
was
called
quoting, like-
comedy book.
and he's cracking my shit up.
I
all
would be
the
like
time.
almost more embarrassed if they were like, "Hey, like just so you know, this guy's a comedian and he has a podcast."
Right.
Well, he had to do that for some of the people that
Yes,
he mentioned.
yeah,
With, like,
he did.
I'm not like, I don't want to start a feud or anything, but some of the comedians that he mentioned,
He did have to
you know,
explain who they were.
John Mulaney or whoever,
Yeah.
Right,
Chappelle, he was
Mhm.
going like, this is a comedian.
Okay. Wow.
And with Hayes, it was just like, do I even have to say it, babe?
Yeah. Have you guys thought about pitching yourselves as performers?
You know,
Do
we've got our producer hats
That's
on.
really sweet.
Sure.
Wow. I think we need to do it the right way.
Yes.
Obviously, there was the whole kind of witch hunt that happened when that Jeopardy
The
producer
Jeopardy guy.
made
Yeah.
Put himself in the. Yeah, I remember that.
host.
People
And
really
then
hated
if
that.
you
just because he was the
recall-
most kick-ass host. Yeah,
And like what actually undid him was them finding out that he had a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if that happened to us,
You guys have so much evidence.
that could
Yeah.
actually be a huge problem.
Okay, that's
yeah.
good thinking. Yeah.
That's
Well,
probably the main reason we won't do it.
just because since people don't like when producers put themselves in the running.
And
Yeah, and it is a good gig for us to be, kind of leading the hunt. I think people trust our taste, partially because we are so funny that we could do it ourselves.
Yeah, you want
But I want to help shape it. Like, I'd love to give somebody a platform.
Okay, great.
especially a voice
well,
that maybe people are less familiar with. That
I guess
I
I
think
could-
deserves that.
I could tell you normally what I do in my stand-up routine. Maybe get you
That
guys
would
advice or
be
something.
a thrill.
That would be
You
huge.
had an idea for what the stage should look like,
Yeah.
or
really
some of the
so
choreography.
unrelated. It's so unrelated to what you're talking about now. I was just saying, since you're going to be doing a hard pivot away from what people are used to, it might be nice to have a little taste of what happened before to smooth the transition. And so some people dancing or doing some kind of choreograph, because usually they have fans are on the field just watching the artist up close, and then also there's dancers.
Are you picturing
Right.
like a Clockwork Orange thing?
Yeah, sort of like a bunch of people dressed the same,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a gang, kind of like they look
Bowler
like they're
hat,
friends.
eyeliner,
Some
And
really
they're dancing
big
on
codpiece.
stage.
Yeah.
And they're not quite rigidly dancing a fixed routine, but sort of in just doing similar movements the way those
Mhm.
guys did in Clockwork Orange.
I think it's odd for them to be moving because the promise we're sort of making is there will be no music.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Maybe they could just be laughing demonstrably.
Well, that'll be your job.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Maybe this
But
is
tell
not
me some of
necessary.
what the stand up
So
because
normally-
I've been
yes.
looking at your material and some of it I think could actually work for the audience.
There's so little of it online. I mean, I want to emphasize again, I barely do it. I dabble. I mean, I do open mics and maybe friends will invite me to do the one level above. And then
Okay.
every now and then I'll float into some weird showcase
Mhm.
show.
Well, this is friends inviting you to do one level above.
That's
you
yes, yeah, it's something like that. But
know? Mhm.
normally I'll I'll come up on stage and try to be pretty authentic, try to be myself.
I love that. I love that because a lot of the Super Bowl show, they're acting pretty phony in these
Mhm.
halftime shows.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
yeah.
being a little bit phony, and you feel
It's
it. It rings
performative.
false.
This isn't
They're
really that
trying
person.
so damn
Yeah.
hard. I'm like, what are we hiding here? Like, just be yourself. So
And that's
how do you
football
demonstrate
too, is
the
authenticity. We just got done seeing
Real things
the
happen.
the most authentic thing you can possibly do.
Mhm.
I mean, people didn't even know what was
Run.
going to happen. Who's going to
Throw,
right?
kick it.
yell?
Yeah, tackle.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're jumping.
Be the
Yeah.
coach.
right.
Yep.
Whistle.
Yes.
Block.
Well, it's not. Yeah, we don't have to name everything that.
Sure,
happens.
right, yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I normally get up. I start pretty authentic and
Big coat. They have the big warm coats
Mhm.
yes,
when it's cold.
yeah. They have a lot of warming technology.
Life can be ridiculous, but you know what's not funny? Getting ripped off. And Harry's agrees.
Yeah.
So what we want to talk
sure
about
do.
today with
Sorry, you said Harry's or Harry?
I said Harry's. We always talk about Harry's first, and then we talk about you, Clean Harry, who are sort of our new
Noted.
mascot. I don't know.
Note taken.
for this campaign.
Talk about Harry's first.
What
okay?
we want to talk
I
about
will
is
just
something funny that
sit
happened to you
here.
recently.
Great.
A ridiculous or fun situation that you were in
Okay,
recently. That's the prompt, and that'll take us into discussing the
Life hasn't been
product,
particularly
how great
funny.
the product
Funny
is.
to me or funny to just anyone?
I mean, do you feel like there's a difference there? Like you,
Yeah, I mean, I've had things happen to me that I suppose you would find funny.
okay, but that you didn't find funny, and
well,
you have
no,
things,
not really.
and you have things that have happened that you would find funny, but the rest of the world would not.
Yeah,
I guess I'm interested in that one.
that I would find funny.
Yes, but that others would not find funny. You seem to think that you have like a specific taste when it comes to what's funny or ridiculous that is not?
I ordered like a scented spray for my pillow to help me sleep at night, like a lavender scent,
Okay.
and they accidentally sent me 2.
Okay. So you understand that most people would not find that funny or ridiculous,
Mhm.
but you do.
I just had a little chuckle about the mix-up at the shipping warehouse.
Harry saw customers getting screwed over by questionable
That's a come up.
overpriced shaving products.
Clean Harry on the come up.
And decided to do something better. Instead of charging the same stupid high prices, Harry's found their own way to
Double
make
scent bottle.
beautifully designed razors for a fraction of the price of other big brands.
BOGO, baby.
Exceptional products, honest prices. Is there a BOGO as part of this? Because I don't want to be like talking about
No, but that's what
deals
happened.
that aren't.
No, but I, Clean Harry punk, actually got
Harry's
2 bottles. Buy one, get one.
their deodorant, their lotion, their body wash, their hair gel, all very high quality products. They all smell great. German engineered blades made in their own factory. They stay sharp longer. You get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $3 at harrys.com/theboys. Highest customer satisfaction in the shaving industry. No risk trial. Don't like your shave. No worries. It's on them. Getting ripped off isn't funny.
Do you want to hear what happened to me that you might find funny?
Yes.
Punk?
Yes, sure. But that you didn't.
Yeah.
So you're attuned to this stuff.
I got my foot stuck in the dryer at the laundromat and it somehow turned on.
And you know that was something other people would find funny based on
Well,
the responses you were getting.
a lot of people inside that laundromat seemed to find it pretty humorous when my leg started spinning around and flipping me over. What happened was I was holding my laundry basket with both hands and I saw, still a sock left in the dryer.
Mhm.
So I stuck my foot in and tried to pick it up with my little toesies. I wear sandals. Punk. And as I'm picking it up, I just sort of tripped and my foot got wedged in between. There's like slats in there and stuck inside there. And then I don't know somebody pushed the button or what, but it turned on and the thing starts flipping over and I'm flying in circles. Help, punk. Help me, you punks.
Are your clothes staying in the basket or are you going fast?
No.
Okay,
I'm
so-
wearing all of them by the end of the cycle.
Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/theboys. That's harrys.com/theboys for a $3 trial set.
Go ahead.
I don't, Kevin. Where's this one going to be? Can we
Gatorade.
find out? Because if it's going to be cold,
If
this
it's gonna be
is gonna
cold, I think we
inform,
should
like, what
talk
he's
about
talking
that
about.
in the app.
Like, yeah,
I might use it.
Can you
If
tell me
it's
where
cold,
this
I
one's
might
gonna
use
be?
it.
shrinkage. I mean, he's stolen other jokes. So
I stole.
Yeah.
I think a joke
You could do
once,
the whole
but
shrinkage
yes,
thing.
it
You were doing
happened.
it for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I
I
was.
mean,
New
look,
Orleans.
It was.
Dane
New
Cook,
Orleans,
Mencia,
okay.
Robin Williams. These are people who've stolen.
Yeah,
know,
I'm in pretty good company.
New Orleans, Nolans.
Yeah.
The
So it's not
Nola,
gonna be
baby. You could do a little Cajun kind.
I don't normally do
because
accent
it would
work.
be helpful to kind of establish you as like
What's
one of the New Orleans guys.
yeah.
Like
What channel,
basically
too?
the face of the New Orleans comedy scene.
What channel too? Because if it's like
Yeah.
if it's like catch me in the new procedural coming out this fall
Yeah.
on like whatever channel.
Yeah.
And
You think I
I'm
should be
playing you're going
Plugging
like
my roles.
I think there's sort of a funny kind of like
Yeah.
tongue in cheek, like you're describing the New Orleans based show.
I feel
that
like
you'll be on.
People haven't. I don't think people respond well to accent work in general these days, and it's really not my thing. But I guess to connect with the local population, that could be good.
Can we try it?
Nolans,
Yeah.
Can we try to
Nolans.
like
Yeah, can we?
Here we are, Nolans. Here we are, Nolans.
Yeah, and I think
How would you
because
do-
you want it, it's like because you don't want it to succeed because you kind of were the person who shut the door on it before we even
Yeah.
started. And
I'm not
we're
sabotaging, I'm
Let's not
trying.
explore it.
No, I'm trying.
Okay, I want to think that's true. So
Maybe
you
might
said
be a good idea.
initially, and we're getting further away from it. So,
Yeah.
and I apologize. This is
No.
maybe my fault because I had like a sort of a creative idea, which I'll try to have less. But the first thing you said was that you try to be pretty authentic.
I try to present a taste of myself.
So how are you doing that? Because that's obviously not going to be an accent, right? You
And
said
is-
that.
Are you, gonna
said
be
that. Like,
authentic in the sense that like you say that you will not do things like you've been doing so far on this?
No,
Like,
no,
is
I
that
will-
the type of
I'll do things. Yeah,
because that to me like that's
authentically, me would be bringing nothing, is what you're saying.
less than that.
No, I
Taking
would-
things
I would-
off the table.
I would.
Yeah.
No. I would be bringing something.
Okay.
If I'm an act. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
yes, I love hearing that. Like,
I would.
You're
not be,
going to need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta know
wouldn't-
what this thing is.
You could even and speaking of authentic, it's like I was checking out the city today, and you talk about some of the authentic
Yeah.
flavors.
I
that
was
you
on my
found.
way here.
Gumbo.
Got
Stop,
some beignets.
stop by
Sidewalk,
this
yeah.
gumbo spot.
Yeah.
You know,
Gumbo.
And you
Yeah.
could talk a little bit
I've had
about
gumbo.
that.
It's good. Yeah. So I could do that.
This is like
Great.
they're eating out of the palm of your hand. You're
Mhm,
saying that.
mhm.
Like
Anybody
the
here
whole-
Anybody here been to that gumbo?
But it's
spot?
it's televised as well. It's not just for the locals.
Okay, so
yeah.
that I want to make sure to not leave them out.
And maybe you hold your tummy.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm so full of beignets and gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
You say,
You're
"Oh,
in
dragon
Nolans.
ass.
You say, uh-oh.
Yeah, Nolans.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had a little too much.
But on stage, in a normal stage scenario, and we'll try to heighten it for this. How would you?
Okay,
How
so-
would you demonstrate your authentic?
Just to
self?
set the stage, normally I'm going up in the back of a bar where there's noise leaking in from another room. 6 or 7 people are watching, 4 of which have already performed, right? I get up there. It's a hostile energy of people just mad that the thing isn't over. And you got to say something a little self-deprecating to acknowledge that, to win people back. So normally what I'll do, and also I want to present my natural energy, which is muted. And I will get up and I'll say something like, greetings.
Teenage Muted Ninja Turtles.
Whoa.
Just something for
Maybe
you
I
know.
could use that.
I don't
No,
know.
Well, hang on. Would
Say-
that be
say what
stealing
you
if I
would've-
did that?
No. That's
I need
for
your
you.
explicit
That's for
permission.
you. Yes. Well,
I can use
I'll have
Teenage
Kevin
Muted
draw up the paperwork. But
Just because I don't want to do that again.
I mean, if it gets really big, you have to give me something.
Of course.
But
So what? Like I'm
so-
there.
I'm
You're
there.
there.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Which, by the
You
way,
did
football-
your
the
7
football
minutes.
yeah.
The football crowd is mad sometimes.
Yes.
Well, half of them are mad, right? Because their team's down.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable.
And it's really expensive.
Oh, it's pretty reasonable that one team is down. There's no such thing as a tie score.
I guess I don't know.
There's
I guess
no-
there could be
yeah.
a tie score. Yeah, there could be
Yeah.
a tie score. So I get up there at the shows I normally do, and I have to win over this vaguely, slightly hostile crowd, and I'll say something like, "Greetings, colleagues, and maybe someday friends." That is what I will do, and it goes over okay. It's kind of charming. It's a little bit formal and stilted, which I am. And so that sets them up for that. They giggle a little bit. They're getting a feel for who I am.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to picture it being said.
So at the Super Bowl, I get on stage. I assume there's some kind
It's
of
like millions of people.
fanfare.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I think it could still work because it subverts expectations.
The
Well, to
colleagues.
hear colleagues.
Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it.
To hear colleagues from the person taking the
Yeah.
stage at that.
You
that
get
go to
to
the
think
Super
about it. I
Bowl.
come up. I'll probably dress like this. I'll have a thick flannel shirt on. I don't
Okay.
see
I
myself.
meant to say you look like $1 million fucking bucks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks so
you
much.
really. You don't have to do this when you do the show.
Hey,
I
it's a great-
want to let you off the hook.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I think it would work. I'd get up on stage. Hey, now presenting the halftime act, Will Hines, and I walk up and they're like, "Who is this?" Maybe there's been some visibility by that time,
Mm-hmm.
doing TikTok videos, maybe you're on the reg
Mm-hmm.
by then.
I think we can get you some TikTok collabs.
Okay, great.
Some like momfluencers.
Yeah. Well, that can. So some people,
Yeah.
I'll probably
Yeah.
and I've been announced.
Some
so
kids
people
will
are
know
probably
you. Some
Hunting
moms,
stuff,
yeah.
like big game hunting videos.
Sure. Yeah, I don't.
You're holding up like a rhino's disembodied
Mhm.
fucking ass or something.
Yeah, I
You're
guess
just
so.
like,
Mhm.
yeah.
You have to flay the ass.
Yeah. Well, sure. I guess I could flay.
Yeah, and you're going like flay, honey, or
Mhm.
whatever, you know,
Yeah,
like
flay
it's
queen.
like
Flay queen, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind doing
Mhm.
that. And I get up on stage and they announce me and I walk. Probably it's going to take a bit because those are big stages usually. Big, so I come walk and
So
I.
you're
go
gonna climb up the side and
No, I think I'll
and-
walk up steps.
Okay,
But I just assume
then say that. Because
yes.
this all has to. We got to start figuring this out now.
No, no,
Some
okay,
people
We're
like,
actually responsible for details like that. So
it's so
just
important.
like, yeah, I
so
can't
you don't
just
want
like
to
wing it.
You don't want to clamber up the side.
I don't. I want to
Okay.
walk upstairs.
Okay.
And then I'll walk to the center. There'll be a mic and a spotlight.
Could be.
Have him-
Sorry.
Yeah, just
Clamor.
Sorry. No, and just it could be funny if he's walking around like, how the fuck do I get up here? Like just like
Around the
before we
side,
even.
yes. And all the people are
He's
down
kinda
there as
looking
well.
like I'm supposed to
He-
be up
he-
there. People are going like,
he
"What are
can't
you
find the
doing,
stairs.
Will? You're
Don't
supposed to be
put-
up
don't
here."
put the stairs in.
No stairs.
And he needs
Yeah.
a boost.
Oh,
Everyone
that's
has to put
oh, he comes
he has to,
tumbling
like,
down,
20 different people have their hands
pushing
on
on
his
his
butt.
butt. pushing him up.
They push him too hard. Stage is very slippery. He slides all the way
Slides
across.
all the way
goes
off,
the
ends
other
up on
side.
the other side. I love this. That's so funny.
I could do that. Let's say it's like that.
Great.
That's how it starts.
It will.
We're just first draft.
It is like that.
It is.
Yeah. So it's like that.
Be like that sometimes.
Okay, so I'm getting pushed on my ass up the stage,
Mhm.
and then I clamber up there. But I get eventually to a microphone in the middle of the stage with a spotlight, I
Mhm.
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick it up, say, "Hey, everybody," and Will. No, I will. Hang on. I'll say, "Hello, colleagues, and hopefully someday friends." I'm Will.
Was it
Hines.
hopefully the first time?
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I think we should nail it down. I mean, I want it to feel loose. I want
Normally
it
I
to
like-
feel improvised, but I would like there
I
to
usually
be
say
a-
greetings, colleagues, and perhaps someday friends. Is exactly what I usually say.
great. Yeah.
That's
So
what I would
let's
say.
So let's say it's that.
Let's just say it's that
yeah,
for now. I've
and
just,
not like go like too loose where we're actually maybe
it was
like
pretty loose a second
stomping
ago.
on.
Yeah. I guess-
I'm picturing an outcome. You're at the Super Bowl.
Right.
You deliver that line,
Mhm.
and one person laughs.
That could be worse than zero, right?
That's sort of the outcome that I've tried to like. I could see like
How many
just
people are in a stadium?
Like
You're thinking
numbers,
one?
like playing the statistical odds.
Yeah.
That like one person.
There's a lot of people there.
I feel like more than
Yes.
one person will laugh,
Okay.
even on the low estimate.
Audibly,
Yeah.
What are you like? What are we thinking?
How many people in
If
a
it's like-
typical Super Bowl stadium are? I don't
If
even.
they, if they pack the
20,000
fields,
people?
all the boxes, no, I'm thinking like 50, 60,000.
Okay, 50,
Yeah.
60,000 people
Yes.
can hear me.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get minimum 1,000 people are gonna laugh at that. I think that's pretty fair.
Okay. That could like, yeah, we could make that sound like,
I think that would sound pretty good. I
like-
don't know. I think
we could
Yeah.
sweeten that. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think we need to be aware of the fact that, and that'll be fine for this. The audience is, we don't want to alienate any one group.
absolutely
And
not.
so, like, in
Yeah.
terms of
Absolutely
looking
not.
at a lot of your material that you've done, and I know you have this big chunk that's sort of been the centerpiece of your act for a while, that is like kind of the tagline of it, I guess, is there's a reason that marriage and mirage are only one letter apart.
which crushes.
And I don't know if it's because that's not true, but I
think
just
you,
don't.
you get both. You know, it's the genuine meaning of it makes people laugh, and then the wordplay of it being wrong gets other people.
Yeah, and then you go into these
That's
examples
a
of how
big
like
tent joke.
marriage is a mirage, etc.
Yeah,
I can speak from my own experience. There are married people watching the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I don't want them to think that we are
Anti.
They may not
attacking
be
their
there.
lifestyle.
So you don't want to get trapped into like just playing to the audience that's in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because most of them have lied to their spouses and so
Mhm.
then, like,
in order to even
so the
get
people
there.
in the
Yeah.
arena might dig it. They might be in
and
marriages.
they'll be all about it,
that
but
are
like
mirages.
then
Okay.
then you like get online.
No, I
after
mean, the perception
after the
at home,
show,
right,
and
is like
see
you go-
JDF, like
Yeah.
That's
true.
He's been taking practice swings in the batter's box this whole time. Like
Mhm.
this is a trap, basically. Like JDF, whoever is like gonna jump into this.
Oh my God.
He has laid the trap.
He'll
for
be
them.
writing about it no matter what, right?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
and it's
That's
gonna be
intimidating.
written before you even start to clamor up on it.
It will
stage.
feel in the stadium like you are killing, but at home,
Yes.
even guys where I think some of this shit's funny that you talk about, like
You do?
officially no,
Okay, right.
because I can't laugh with my
Your wife?
sweetie next to
you're-
me.
Yeah.
Saying like what we have is a mirage. Like I can't
You
do
can't.
that.
Yeah. No, that makes
I
Yeah.
like it, but I don't like that I like it, and so like
Mhm.
that I'm not.
So you're thinking less of it or totally cut it out? Because right now that's a lot of my act.
No, I know.
what I
know.
would do is
that's a concern.
I don't think you have to cut it out. I would say
adjust it.
there's no reason that marriage is one letter off from Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just what's the
Mm.
difference between a marriage and a mirage?
Leave it open.
What's the difference? And then maybe you find some differences that don't really take a position.
Right.
What's the
Yeah.
difference between marriage and a mirage?
Yeah. Half of
Uh,
all mirages don't end in sweatpants or,
just
like
really
I don't
dodge
know.
You steal
the
jokes.
Yeah,
issue.
you already
Yeah.
take jokes that
Mhm.
other people do. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think I did one time that I had forgotten about, but you are reminding me.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Well, these are good. Good. Those are pretty good. Do you want to hear another thing?
I'd like to know
Yeah,
what else.
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
what else we're
Yeah,
gonna
where do we
do.
go?
So another
from
thing
there.
I've been doing lately is I have a lab rat bit
Mm-hmm.
where I'll say that I'll ask if people get jealous of people's accomplishments, kind of try to get the crowd to relate. Usually people will agree with that. Anybody here ever get jealous?
You ever feel jealous? Yeah.
You ever feel jealous of
You're
going on
talk-
Instagram and you compare
You're
yourself
talking
to
to
other
4
people?
failed stand-ups.
Yeah. This is so they'll usually respond
Yeah.
in the context of the shows. They're usually that hooks them pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll say, and this is something I have been doing, is I think about the guys who do lab rat experiments and how some lab rat experiments are big hits and some aren't. And the ones who don't do the ones that are big hits, are they mad at the ones who have big hit lab rat experiments? It's a lot of explaining, which gets that part.
Well,
usually-
and the phrase "lab rat experiment"
It's not
seems to be
I say it all the time.
yeah, it seems to
Because you have to, because it's not a phrase, so you
They
have to
keep coming
establish
back.
it.
yeah.
Because it's not a known. But you get it.
It's not
The
a
con-
phrase, but I don't have a better.
No, I
I
can't
don't
say
have a
it any
replacement for
better.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're lab rat experiments.
And then I'll name some lab rat experiments that everybody knows. And
What are some of those?
like there's a famous one that never happened, but that people think happened, which is where a lab rat is given a bar food. One bar gives it food.
And
One
you're
bar gives it
saying this?
cocaine. I'm saying.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you got anybody ever heard of the one
Don't
where the?
point
I'm
at
at-
me when you say cocaine.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
One bar gives it food. One bar gives it cocaine.
I didn't.
and
mean it
now
like
I'm
that.
cocaine.
That's not what I meant. I'm so
Just
sorry.
find someone.
Kevin, alter the video.
Okay. When you do that at the Super Bowl, just find someone in the crowd who has to kind of like give it up.
Okay.
Be
That
like,
they're doing
all
it.
right,
Yeah.
you got
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Because you're gonna want to do
maybe
some
just
crowd
a little.
work.
That's what they, that's
You'll
what
want to
their-
do
their
some
faces
crowd
are.
work for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll do that.
Because if we're gonna have this like go viral afterwards, like if
Yeah.
this is actually gonna like do well on
this
TikTok.
bit has been doing pretty well in the rooms that I've
I'm
been
talking about
going
the crowd
into.
work.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about this.
Okay, the crowd work. Yeah.
I just want to make very clear I am not talking.
The
about
crowd
Okay.
work will probably replace a lot of what this is, but the famous experiment is that they do the
Yeah, one rat-
cocaine.
Yes, the rat has a one
Yeah.
bar that gives it food, one bar that gives it cocaine, and it keeps hitting the cocaine until it dies.
Uh huh.
And then a second half of the experiment is they give it a
That was the first half.
That's the first half of the setup
And so,
First half is
wait,
its dad.
no, that was the first half of the experiment.
of the experiment. Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to hear a second half that is, it's the half. So it's the same length as the first half.
That's correct. A little
Okay.
longer.
It's okay.
The second half of the experiment is they have a rat with a bar of food, bar cocaine, and they give it like a little play area where it can engage its mind and be active, and then it goes for the food and not the cocaine. Have you guys ever heard of that experiment?
I had heard of the first half.
Are you
which I guess
asking?
was a
So
little bit-
sorry,
it
am I
was
in
not
the crowd?
really
You're
a half.
asking me if I've heard.
Yes.
You
Yes,
say like,
if
have you
you're in
guys
the-
heard of that
yeah.
experiment?
Yes.
And you're just okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And do you talk
hopefully
about
at
how
least
it didn't
20,
happen?
25,000 people.
Then I say that didn't happen.
go like,
Okay.
And I said it
those-
must be frustrating to be a guy who's in a
Yeah.
real lab rat experiment and to have a fake one be more famous than your actual work.
It doesn't seem to apply at all to like career jealousy or anything in the initial
It's been
premise
working
of the idea.
decently well in the rooms that I go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something, I don't know. That's my newest thing. I'm still working it.
I'm wishing there were a more famous lab rat experiment.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You
Boy,
must
that
be
get
feeling
us.
that, because like that lab rat experiment. I guess I don't think of it as a famous lab rat experiment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The only really famous one I could think of is Flowers for Algebra.
And also, how do you know that never happened?
yeah, what? How, yeah,
It's never happened.
How do you know that?
That also is sticking with me. Maybe you don't even need to say that it didn't happen, although you have
But
to say
but
like,
it's
don't
actually
you?
the entire premise.
The
of
whole
the joke.
idea is that it
Yeah.
didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I researched it.
But
and
there's
it
been
didn't happen.
so many.
If it did not happen in any major documented way.
Mhm.
Okay, so maybe you have to say like, wouldn't you feel bad if that experiment is more famous, even though it
Mm-hmm.
maybe only happened in a small, less documented way?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll add that.
'Cause
in.
How about, there is a more famous lab rat experiment, right? They grew an ear on one. Remember they grew
They
an
did do that.
ear
They
on
grew an
him?
ear in the back of a rat.
I know that happened because I seen the fucking ear. On
Yeah.
this thing.
They
And
did
then
that.
maybe we just pivot like to this entirely, to the ear, the rat that just has. an
Okay.
ear.
It doesn't
Can you imagine that
have
rat
any.
bumping?
Right?
Yeah.
Like he must love bumping to music.
Although,
That does sound pretty
Hayes,
funny.
if we do that at the Super Bowl, it's going to make people think like, oh yeah, I'd rather be bumping
right,
to music.
Yeah, we don't want people to be thinking about music at all.
We really don't.
Okay.
Um,
I got another one. Or you still want to unpack this more?
No,
maybe,
I think I'd like to hear another one. I mean, I think one thing I thought
But they
of when
forgot to invent the rat that had a Q-tip sticking out of its.
so they
like-
could
Oh, right, yeah.
something,
So the
like,
two of
out
them
its
could-
butthole and like
or its tail. Yeah, well, buttholes. I guess that's a funny punchline.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I was thinking about this when he said the lab rat experiments. I wonder if they're jealous of other lab rat experiments. Here I am, jealous of all these L.A. brat experiments. It's that's who I'm jealous of.
Right.
Yeah. That is pretty good.
Because
I don't feel
LA
comfortable
brat,
using it, but that,
or-
like, it's-
yeah,
These LeBra tea experiments, because these LeBra
LeBron?
is
Are you doing
exper-
La Brea Tar Pits or
No.
LeBron?
no, little bra.
because Madam LeBra is experimenting with my tea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Do you mean like the bra?
When you see LeBra,
This has been working pretty well for him.
your
Okay.
tea
Yes.
is like exploding.
It increases your T when you are
When
when
you
a bra
when you
becomes
witness
visible.
when you witness LeBra,
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Your T skyrockets.
And what's your T? Your T is your testosterone level, or is that
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ideally, yes.
okay? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm selling on this. I think I could make it work.
Let's talk about the crowd work because we do
Yes.
need to replace a lot of what's in there already.
Crowd
So-
work's my specialty. I do better at it because I've done more improv than stand up. So if
Yeah.
somebody in the crowd says something, I do tend to do better that way.
Okay, great. So there's somebody in the front row.
Yeah.
They're painted the colors of
the team or whatever.
Minnesota Vikings. Or
What do you
whatever,
ask usually?
yeah.
I usually don't I usually don't ask something. I deal with pretty vocal crowds and they just volunteer information. Something about my presence on stage seems to provoke a lot of
It's safe.
audience
It's
gets
safe for me to
involved.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff do they usually show up with?
Like they'll just I had a bit about reading classic books. And somebody
I
just
wonder-
shouted,
Wait a minute.
And okay, so you're giving me this lab rat stuff. There's a classic book bit that we could be seeing at the halftime show of the Super Bowl. Come on.
"Oh my god, this is
I mean,
so
I'm
genuinely
fired up.
humiliating."
my
Okay,
only
yes,
fear
yes.
now is that introducing an entirely new genre of entertainment will lead to the think pieces of like, why isn't a classic book doing
book
the
doing
Super
it?
Bowl
Yeah.
halftime show?
Yeah.
But that's a 2025.
And by the way,
Yeah.
we get
Six
ahead of
problem.
that, and
Yes.
we could sit down with some classic books.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yes.
And then people just will shout out the name of a book.
Wait, what's
that
the
they're
bit what's the
The
classic
bit is
book
I'll
that-
say, you can't tell somebody that you are enjoying a classic book because everyone already knows that it's good. Like you can't say to somebody, "Hey, you know what a good is
And
a good
they
book?"
would shout out a book, right?
They'll be
now.
and they'll just say like Twilight.
Yeah. Oh, they shout
Oh.
out books that maybe I wouldn't consider a classic.
They'll just
A
shout out
modern
whatever they're
classic,
reading. They'll
perhaps.
just say a book. Harry Potter.
Oh,
They've,
wow.
Yes, I've had that happen.
Wow. So okay, and then you in your crowd work mode.
I
are
will
gonna do
say-
what?
So
And you needed this to happen because, as you were
the
saying,
material's not.
you don't do stand up.
I don't do stand up that well, so I need. This is now I'm in my element.
Okay,
Yes,
you're very
Yeah.
glad this happened.
Thank
Someone
God,
said
I'm
Harry
thinking.
Potter.
Mhm.
with Harry Potter, and I'll go. What are you just naming books? I said book, and you're just naming a book, and that'll usually do pretty well.
You got them. I
Yeah,
mean, and what
It does.
and what
It usually
can they
does
say?
pretty well.
They don't respond.
They
right?
can't. Yeah.
They can't. You have them dead to rights.
This particular example that did happen, it was a very drunk man who just shouted Harry Potter. And then I said, "You're just going to shout out books?" He goes, "Yes." And then I didn't say anything for a second. He went, "I'm sorry." And I said, "It's okay." And I went back to finish the bit. And then he
Wow, the
shouted
high
out,
road. Yeah.
"I like you." And it was a pretty, it was a high, it was a,
Well, that's
Now,
a nice thing to enjoy.
Here's my concern.
Yeah.
I'm at the Super Bowl.
yeah. I think this could happen.
I didn't hear what the person said.
I'll repeat it.
Okay.
Did everybody hear what this man said?
Yeah, he said Harry Potter.
He said Harry Potter. Allow
Oh,
me to
now he
respond,
just said he likes
please.
me.
He just said he likes me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "I'm sorry."
He said he likes me. Yeah, that's. Well, you can do that even no matter
guess
what
a lot of
somebody
my
says.
crowd
You
work-
know
Yeah.
that did well, so
Yeah, I could just pretend like it happened.
yeah, I'd rather do that than leave it up to what the crowd actually says because I'm
That
not
makes
certain
sense.
they're going to tell you they like you, and this
That
is
makes
not
sense.
any judgment on you. I'm realizing you do this classic book thing, and I'm remembering, of course, another joke of yours that
Okay.
I've always enjoyed, and it is attacking the liberal media.
Yes, you've really zeroed in on parts of my routine that other people don't. But yeah, I go after the liberal media pretty. I'll go after them pretty hard.
And I don't know that we want to be that divisive, although maybe for this crowd it would be okay.
Yeah, this is.
I'll perform the joke now.
Okay.
This is Will's joke. The New York Times slogan is all the news that's fit to print. You know what I have to say to that? Relax, New York Times.
That's a real joke. I can't believe you remember that. That is insane. Yes, I do. I think that's good. I think that's a good joke. I think that's funny. I think it's funny to tell the New York Times to relax.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I just don't know if it's Super Bowl ready.
I think it is. I think it's going to crush at the Super Bowl. I think it's going to get up there and change some minds.
Well,
first
if
of all,
Hayes agrees, then we've got one.
they're not
Maybe
into,
there's something like
they're not into the
connecting
New
it
York
back
Times.
to the other stuff, like
to the lab rat.
lab
thing?
rats. Yeah.
What about? I'd rather see you. Oh, really? It's all the news. I'd rather see you print LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be
I
good.
was thinking a lib rat thing, but like, like print LeBron. If you actually want to get me to read this,
Yeah, print LeBron.
mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty newsworthy, according to my tea.
Yeah, all the bra that's fit to T.
Yeah.
I'm just trying here.
And so right around now, I think in the routine,
Yeah,
what we are going to want to do is have the game suddenly be starting again.
Yes.
the game.
You're trapped on the field.
You're trapped on the field.
Okay. Wow.
They run like straight into you. They kill you.
So you'll be watching.
Well, they
it
kick the kickoff at you first.
I see the kickoff, and
You,
I'm like,
in
no.
spite of yourself, catch the ball. And then realize you've made a grave error. You tried to put the ball down like, no. I don't have the ball, but it's too late.
They vaporize you.
Yes.
okay, in like a visual effects sort of way, or just
No,
like,
you become like just particulate matter.
Yes.
I get murdered.
Blood mist, right?
Yeah,
Just,
it'd be legendary.
oh my gosh, the ratings would be fucking astronomical. And the TikToks the next day.
It wouldn't look
Yeah.
fake. It would look real.
Mm-hmm.
And they like ideally they would like also be a legendary play on top of that. Like they score a touchdown or something like
Oh,
you know.
yeah, that it's like a total momentum swing and like the team that most of the country's rooting for ends up winning the game based on the fact that you were vaporized.
I think that's actually how it's like getting like when your roommate dies in college, you get an A. I do think if you touch the ball and then you die, you do get a touchdown.
Okay.
So you get a touchdown. You win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
Bill Hines gets the game-winning touchdown.
So the score would just be like some team 35, another team 23, Will Hines 6.
yeah,
Mhm.
6.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't kick the extra point
'Cause I'm dead.
in the condition that you would be in.
Yeah.
The
That'd be a pretty
memes
amazing
of people
score.
going like, hey, what the heck? I just found Big Bill Hines in my spice cabinet or something, and there's like they have like a paprika or
Yeah.
some kind of red dust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like would be pretty
It would
a pretty
dovetail
cool legacy.
well with Dune. I guess Dune's coming out, and there's a lot of dust and sand
Yes,
in Dune.
that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that would probably work out.
Timothy
It'd probably have
and
some-
Fallon are like walking through the sand and they're like, wow,
Mhm.
this is like a pretty sandy planet here. It's like, oh no, this is just Big Bill Hines.
Yeah. We're just
Oh,
walking through.
We're just
God.
walking through Big Bill Hines.
That's amazing. That's in Dune.
Well, no, it's like
Oh,
it's not. This
God.
is not actually.
On
Dune.
Fallon
This is on
promoting-
It's a
Fallon.
commercial.
No, this is not. No, this would just be on Fallon.
What a commercial? What's
this-
it for?
This would not be a
I
commercial.
think it'd be a bit or whatever.
This would be like a sketch that Fallon and
Timothy Chalamet's
no.
on Fallon.
Why?
I think Timothy Chalamet should do it. But
Yes.
Timothy, yes.
No, I think. What did I say?
Oh,
I think
how
whatever
about
I said
this?
should do it.
Just like to double back. I guess it won't make sense because you haven't been exploded yet. But you go like, you guys have some pretty famous donuts here in New Orleans. These beignets. But I actually prefer a different delicacy, donuts.
Yeah.
Donut, different special donut.
Planting
a different special
seed
donut.
for later.
A
Yeah.
Donuts.
different.
And so
donut.
when they see you get blown up
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at the end, they'll remember. It'd be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a callback. Oh, like Dune.
Well, and Hayes comes out to sort of scurry
Yes.
up and gather up the mic, and he goes, "Don't worry, guys. He had a do not resuscitate order or something." And
Oh,
and then
you guys do get involved.
well, I think he would have to say something. I mean,
Something.
our talent was just
Vaporized.
murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
and
have
they're
to
still going to
recover.
play the game. They're going to finish the game.
I was
it's the
wondering.
last game of the year. So
I was
there's
wondering
no-
how I was going to get off the stage,
Yeah,
and if
somebody's
I'm.
got to win. Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
there are no stairs. Yeah. So that's honestly the cleanest way to get you.
Yeah,
off is
that
gonna
would
be-
solve that problem.
These guys are pro athletes. They'll just launch themselves.
I like that ending. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to
Oh,
that I was
Speaking of endings, bye.
That was a Headgum podcast.